please know, and we'll get you up there in the balcony. Wow. More fun on the way. You're looking at the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center. This is where we put on shows. This is the Mike Langworthy Theater, the temporary one. This is just this mini one while we're building the real Mike Langworthy Theater.
Absolutely.
So I hope you enjoy the view. And don't forget, our show is brought to you by New and Improved Zing. If your jokes need more zing, bring them right here to Colorado Comedy Shows and the Open Mic Comedy Shows. We've got more zing for you. And speaking of more zing, it's probably a good time to introduce our host. We've got a bunch of comedians for you, so we got a wicked fun time ahead. And I'll just tell you something. Your host is working on a book. It is a book about a musical genius. It's what we like to call his Mel Tomei, everybody. So would you please welcome Mike Langworthy, ladies. Mike Langworthy, your host at MC.
Excuse me, well, I pinched the bridge of my nose.
Well, I kissed the sky.
Why would you do that? Why would
Chuck. No. Okay.
you gave me 5 days to work on that joke, and that's
I don't need 5 days.
right.
Would have been better simply if you'd said I was writing a book about the history of the post office and it was called The Mail Tomei. But that's neither here nor there.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's all right, because I know you spent all week on that. That sounds slightly degrading to have it improved on by somebody off the top of his head. But I think, Chuck, that's not what I'm here for.
Ouch.
I'm sure you didn't come here to be insulted. I don't know where you usually go, but
Hello.
that's a twist on one of the great hack jokes in comedy history. So anyway, for those of you who are new or just guests, we're doing this because as those of us who've been doing stand-up for a while know, stand-up done at its best is better than sex, or if you've slept with me, a lot better than sex.
Whoa.
And I've been binge watching.
What have you been watching?
I've binge watched a series that was about a Navy SEAL who lost all of his men in a combat thing, and the whole series is about trying to find out why it was being covered up. And then I've watched a whole lot of these other Navy SEAL things and binge watched these series about all these elite units of the military. And the guys are so intense, They're so, I wonder, do they live their life like that all the time? Like when they're not out on a mission, are they home, like going, because they always say that they need something now. Because like nobody knows that when you tell somebody in a combat situation, you need to do this, he's not going to say when, you know what I mean? Of course you need him to do it now, but they always say, I need you on me now. Like, okay, what is he going to say? On me later. So what's he like? It's like, birthday breakfast in bed for the mom with the kids. It's just like, okay, Connor, Bailey, on me now, the kitchen. I'm gonna need the milk. I'm gonna need the milk. I'll go in first. Clear. Clear. She's not up. Connor, Bailey, the refrigerator. Stay with me now. Oh my God. Don't you spill the cereal on me. Don't you steal the cereal on me. Look at me. Look in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. Just the kids, at a certain point, the kids are dead. Okay, settle down,
Chill down.
But anyway, that's just something I was thinking about. And it'll be funny at some point. Probably when Chuck works on it. because I give
Hello.
Wow.
no, that's a compliment, and I give him a lot of shit about that. But he's really good at rewriting material, and I mean, a lot of people call it stealing jokes, but but he's great at punching things up. He punches things up, and I was always, when I was writing for TV, my mission was to punch things down, because television is called the medium of television for a reason, because nothing's too good, nothing's too bad. And so if a joke was too funny, I would find a wordier way to say it or something like that. That's the sort of thing I did. A couple of ground rules for those of you who are here for the first time. Sets of 5 minutes. You should time yourself. If I think you're going long, I'll flash a flashlight. And just remember that I'm working on a Navy SEAL bit, and you're going to be in the next version of it if I have to fuck with you. So I occasionally talk in the middle of your sets. Sorry, my show, my rule. Usually I don't. I'm usually pretty polite, but not always. So I just want you to know that. If I usually put the next two acts in the public part of the chat. Sarah, are you raising your hand because you want to speak, or just moving around?
There's a light here. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's great. So, I see what you mean. Now it's a little glary with that. By the way, congratulations on getting that rainbow to puke on you behind you. Okay, so that's the ground rule. Chuck, is there anything I'm forgetting?
I'm going to share the YouTube live link in the stream if people want to share it with their friends.
Oh yeah. One other thing. Also, for those of you who are new, at the end of the show, we usually stay on for a while for people who want to chat and talk comedy, and if anybody wants the expert guidance of an OG.
Then don't stay here. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Alan.
Sorry, that slipped out. I'm sorry.
I worked some of that humor into your act. It'd be great.
Did I say that out loud? Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. And you are an OG, by the way. So you really
Watch your language.
You're whatever, pissing in your own mouth. I don't know what it. No, that's
Oh, man.
right.
And we all know
You
what
always
that
have
is.
to bring sex into it. All right. Good.
Worst
I hate
Pornhub
myself.
channel ever.
I hate myself in general, but at times like this, I really hate myself. Anyway,
Don't hate yourself, Mike. Let us do that for you.
hey, plenty of room for hate. I can hate myself, and there's plenty of room for you to hate me too. If I have nothing else, I have an big heart. So anyway, our first performer is going to be the guy who checked in first tonight. And usually I make him wait around for a while because he's funnier when he's nervous about wondering if he's going to get on at all. But he comes from the Riviera of North Central Ohio. It's also known as the Paris of Ohio, Toledo. And I've always liked him, and he's gotten really better. He was started out good, and he's gotten even better. And I know you're going to like him. And I want a big round of applause for Jeffrey Burden II.
Woo!
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I'm from Toledo, Ohio. It's home. It really is home to me. But I heard a comedian on a podcast, a very, very popular podcast, talk about the places where the audiences are a little dull, and he mentions Toledo. And honestly, he hit it right on the head. He really did. He really did. But that's all right. That's all right. I just keep going. And And I don't know where I'm going with this opener. I don't think I'm going anywhere really. But anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, I've been sort of really relaxing a lot more lately. Not necessarily being lazy and sitting on the couch. That's for my wife to do. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I'm kidding. I love my wife. She's so lazy. No, that's not true.
Me too.
I
All of us have.
Let's go get a beer, Mike. That's my wife is an excellent worker. And she, I have to say that or she'll kill me after the show. But I'm on my way. I'm actually on my way to a show with my wife, and we're having a conversation, and it sort of turns to an upsetting conversation, and I'm just listening to my wife talk, and you could say it happens a lot, but I'm getting very angry. I'm getting a little tense. It's all in my head. I don't show any emotion. I'm driving. I'm like, okay, you're getting ready for a show. I'm getting ready to perform, and you need to calm down. Calm down. In my head, I'm telling myself this. What do I do to calm down? And I'm like, well, I can't do that. I'm not in my bedroom. That would be inappropriate. I'm in a car. Not right. Not right. It's not right. But I calmed down. I went to the show, and I still bombed. So that's how that works. Yeah, no, I didn't bomb. I did okay. I was trying I was working out. I was working my stuff out. It was an open mic. That sounds Scott Truth. And I did okay. But no, I in the past I could get a little, a little charged up. I remember I worked at a hospital, and I worked in Central Supply as a supply chain technician. My responsibility was to deliver medical supplies all over the campus, right, for the University of Toledo Medical Center. And you get all kinds of in a hospital. If somebody has something wrong with them, the generalization for that person is that I'm first. I come first, okay? So you get a nurse that you calls you and asks for a piece of medical equipment. They're like, I really need this. My patient's going to die. I'm like, well, you know what? We got plenty of room in our morgue. So there,
Got a big heart.
I don't know. That's not really positively effective in that environment. So yeah, I've really had to work at it. I've really had to look. Guys, I'm serious. I lost track of time, for goodness sake. All right. I'm gonna go one more minute. All right. Anyways, I look at the sky and trees more, and I just sort of go, wow, I can do this. I get to experience all of this. I remember taking care of. I was a patient carrier at the same place. I was a state tested nurse's aide, and I remember I was in charge of just patient sitting for a man in his mid 70s. He was a cardiac patient. He's laying down. And he says to me, "I wanted to go to the bathroom." I'm like, "Okay. All right, well, I'll go get you a urinal, one of these plastic bottles you put in front of your penis, and you go to the bathroom." And he said, no, I want to go upstairs. I want to go stand up and go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, all right. You sure you want to? Yeah, absolutely. I can't tell him no. I can't refuse him. That's not my place. So I pick him up, and he's as big, as tall as me, maybe heavier. And I'm like 200 pounds. So anyways, he starts to slow down and breathe heavily. And he's like, this was a bad idea. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, no. He starts to have a heart attack while I'm standing with him. And I have to take him to the bathroom, and you have a terrible shot of me, but I'm going to try to reenact it. So I get him to turn around and sit on the toilet. And he's doing one of these things, like he's kind of, I'm holding him up. I hit the call button at the, for the nurses' stations to get help, right? And nobody answers the call button right away like that. Nobody in any hospital you go to, right? Okay. I'm like, oh my God, how hard do I have to push him back in order for gravity to do its job, to hold him back while I run out of the bathroom, turn the corner, and yell? I'm just going to go for it. So he's hanging over, and I'm like, I need help. get it now. So I go back to him and I catch him before he sort of hits the floor. And so all of a sudden I start thinking, oh man, you need to eat something because you're working out. You got to eat every hour and a half or two, or you're not gonna get the maximization of protein in your body. You know what I mean? 20 people squeeze into this bathroom that's built for a baby, you know, and I'm stuck in the back, just kind of doing one of these things. I'm adding nothing to the situation, nothing. Eventually I get out, and I found out later that the patient, he died a week later. He didn't make it, you know? So I don't know. I guess the lesson for me is make sure I eat something before I take care of a cardiac patient. I think that's the valuable lesson with all of this.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, I thank you so much. You all have been lovely. And Mike, thank you, and have a good night.
Yeah.
Now that was the lesson to take away from that. You need
more.
to eat something.
Eat more, yeah.
Don't take a dying heart patient to the bathroom. No, that's not the lesson.
No, eat.
The lesson is more protein.
Eat a cookie.
All right. Funny stuff, man. You know, funny stuff. And it sounds like Jeffrey Burton, which is a great thing. Anyway, so only 5 calories. Oh, right. Anyways.
I said maximization of protein is my nickname on in the chat.
Sure.
Fine.
Sure, you're on that liquid protein diet, aren't you?
All right, sir.
Those
Is that
of you
milk
who
on your-
watch the
is that-
show will figure out the running joke. Running jokes are the most exercise some of us get on this show.
That's
Is
true.
that milk on your face? You're just happy to see somebody.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Too soon. He came too soon. Sorry.
He came too soon and he was gone too soon.
He has arrived.
Yes. So I think we've beat that dead horse pretty well.
Oh, beat that dead horse is my nick. Never mind.
Oh,
No, not everything is a grinder nickname.
well, it is on this show.
It is if you're brave enough. It is.
I'll try anything once.
That's just ridiculous.
Thank you, Mr. Ed. And our next performer is Chipp Jones, Washington, D.C. Great guy. You'll love him. Clap for him.
Hey, thank
By the way-
you. Thank you.
By the way, sets are supposed to be 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. 5
I'm
minutes.
just, I'm not saying that rule's been violated tonight or anything.
Okay. Wait. Does this count against my 5 minutes?
Oh, that doesn't count.
Okay, wait. Give me a second to reset the clock. And okay, thank you. All right. I do want to thank Jeffrey because he has taught me that no matter how horrible the outcome, as long as you learn something, you know, it's worth the ride. It's worth the ride. You know, it's the way I feel about the Holocaust. You know,
That's,
I learned something,
that's
so it was
All right.
worth the
Coming
ride.
biography, autobiography. Mistakes were made.
So what do? Talk about me. I'm a comedian, so I have to talk about me. You know, I realized I just have terrible impulse buying. You know, I don't know what to do about it. I mean, my car has like, you know, 9-10 packs of mints or gum, you know, because it was there at the checkout when I was paying. So I just thought, let me get a little something extra, you know. I mean, I just thank God that Home Depot doesn't put all of their riding lawnmowers and table saws and you know, freezers at the checkout, or I'd need a bigger car because I would just, I don't know what it is. It's like, you know, if it's by the register, I'm going to buy it and take it home. And my wife is still mad about that stripper that we have living in our upstairs bedroom. But, you know, it was there, you know, it was a reasonable price. What the hell? Speaking of marriage, I've been married for 30 years. You guys can clap for my wife. She deserves it. And for our 30th anniversary, I did the due diligence. I went on the websites, the wedding websites, to find out what the appropriate gift for 30 years is. Anybody know what the appropriate gift for a 30-year anniversary is? It's pearl. Pearl is the appropriate gift. But when I went to my bank website, it said back rub. Back rub is the appropriate gift. So my wife got a back rub, and I got a lovely card from Wells Fargo saying I was overdrawn. But we got married kind of later in life. Like I was 27, 28. She was 33, 34. She was older, She wasn't that much older that it was cradle robbing. It was more like race car bed robbing, I guess you would call it. But she had waited so long to get married that her parents didn't think she was going to get married ever. So that money that they would have saved for her wedding, they spent on a boat. So we wound up having to pay for our own wedding, and you got to make those decisions of where to cut. I was like, hey, my friends, they don't want any, cash bar, sit down dinner, past hors d'oeuvres and open bar. That's where they're at, And we called on friends to help us, like our friend who was a photographer for the Washington Post, shot our wedding photos. And they were sort of weird for a wedding. I would put them one for one against any photo of the conflict in the Ukraine for a Pulitzer Prize, but I don't know, wedding album, a little bit different. Everyone's in black and white looking grimacing, it's not appropriate. Our videographer was family. We started out with family shooting the videos. Somewhere along the line, I think somebody gave the camera to one of my nephews who's like 6 or 7, because everything suddenly was shot from the waist down. It's like, everyone giving shout outs and you couldn't tell who it was. It sparked this family game, kind of like mystery date. We'd play the video and people would try to guess who was talking. My wife was like, oh, that's Uncle Stanley. I'm like, oh, you can tell, from his voice? No. You can tell from the matching white shoes and white belt with a brown suit. She's like, no, I could tell from his open fly. I used to see that a lot as a kid. Dead silence. Dead silence. I mean, a lot of family therapy, but dead silence after that,
Ouch.
But weddings are hectic for the couple. It got so hectic we didn't actually eat anything. So after the reception, we wound up going to McDonald's, which was weird because she's still in her gown, I'm still in my tuxedo, and this homeless guy is like, spare change. I gave him $5. He's like, God loves you and I do too. I hope your prom was very, very, very good. Thanks. But the people behind the counter asked us what was going on, and we were like, we got married, and so they gave us 2 free apple pies, which I thought was.
Yeah.
In fact, years after, we would dress up in a tuxedo and gown and go to McDonald's, and they would give us 2 free apple pies. So it's like anniversaries, 2 free apple pies and back rub. That's the perfect present. So, thank you guys for listening, and I'll hand it back over to you, Mike.
Oh, Jeff. Excellent. I was not aware that the appropriate present for 30th anniversary was a 1940s racist Hollywood movie made.
Usually people say, oh, a pearl necklace, but that's not really for her.
No,
that's for you. That's for you.
It is.
That's not appropriate for her.
Well, some people are into it.
Depends on where you put the pearl. Depends on where you put the pearls.
Sorry I said it that way. It sounded like Harvey Weinstein. Anyway.
Sounds like Bob's into it.
Be that as it may. So he just recognizes good comedy when he hears it, which is
pearl necklace. Somebody's name on Grindr, I'm sure.
No question. Probably not. Oh yeah, probably yeah. Sure. Anyway, I want to keep the show rolling because we've got a lot of acts tonight, and you guys have been a good audience for each other, I might add, and congratulations on that. And just for future reference, Bill, your vision, your picture doesn't show your whole head. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. McDonald's wedding cake. That was funny. You know, I'm gonna, you know, I want to keep the show rolling, but I have to tell this story because the day that I got married, we got married at City Hall in New York. And I have a friend who's actually quite wealthy, and he flew in and surprised us to be at the wedding. And then he says, "I'm taking you." The guy's rich, okay, and he said, "I'm going to
talk like this.
Anywhere you want to go for your wedding lunch." And we got married in New York City Hall, and he said, "Anywhere you want to go, it's on me. Don't even worry about it." And I said, "Great, that's great." And because he's also kind of, you know, close with a dollar too, so because this is New York, you know. And he says, "No, anything you want." So, okay, well, there's a restaurant a couple of blocks from here. It's called the Four Seasons. It's a very nice restaurant, and it's expensive. But if that's what you're saying, then let's go to the Four Seasons. So we go to the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons is like 10 steps up from ground level. He runs up the steps ahead of us. He goes in. He apparently looks at the menu, turns around, comes back. He says, "We're not going here. They have no right to charge this much for food."
Anywhere you want to
We
go.
ended up at a place. This is my wedding day. We ended up at a place. I think it was called the Beefeater. Horrible chain restaurants where a guy dressed like a British beefeater trundles a huge prime rib that she cuts pieces off for people as they order around the room. You know, he's got the
Wow.
It's just like, so it's your birthday, eh?
Hey,
Anyway, so
how's the roast beef? 5 hours old. Pretty good still. Pretty good. Yeah.
it was a cow this morning. All right.
Say it's a
Anyway,
birthday.
Our next performer. Hey, speaking of cows, our next performer might even be a rancher. We don't know
Oh.
because it's always something different. Okay. Anyway, his name is Bronco Bradd. You're gonna love him. I'm gonna love him. I always do. Please welcome Bronco Bradd.
Hey.
All right. Yeah.
Well, why, thank you, Mike. What a nice host. Yes, indeed. I always love joining the show here with Mike and Chuck, and especially those funny comedians from the Delmarva area. Yes, indeed. That's you, Chip. Well, oh, and I can't forget Chef Sherpo. Yes, indeed. Always making that yummy meals. You know, boys and girls, you know, doing comedy like this gets my throat itchy and dry, don't it, to you? Sure.
Yeah.
That's when I cry out for rye whiskey. So let's start off with that, shall we? Sure. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cry. Boom, 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 boom. If I don't get rye whiskey, I surely will die. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, big butts, oh, big butts, oh, big butts, I cry. Boom, 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 boom. If baby don't have backs, or Mix-a-Lot will die. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, my precious, my precious, my precious, I cry. Boom, 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 boom. If I don't get my precious, then Gollum will die. Oh, dilithium, dilithium, dilithium crystals, I cry. Boom, 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 boom. If I don't get dilithium crystals, the enterprise will die. Here's what I think my throat is now satiated, isn't it, for you boys and girls?
Yes.
Sure it is.
Mhm.
So thank you very much. I sure do. Dang darn appreciate that. Hey, you know, boys and girls, we still have our contest coming up. So make sure you send your answers in. Yes, it's the Rudy Giuliani guessing game. If you can tell me how many differences you can find between a ginger mint and a USB drive, just write in and let me know. That's right. And the winner, first prize is $200. Yes, indeed. And your own genuine Alan Enlow cartoon from the 80s. Yes, yes. Sure is. Yes, indeed.
My God.
Well, now, it's time now, boys and girls, for the grammar time. You know, if you're going to be a professional comedian like Chuck and Mike and Chip and some other folks here, you got to learn to speak right, don't you? Sure. Well, let's take an example here how you can improve your grammar. Let's say you wake up one morning and you discover your kidneys have disappeared. Well, that's a dilemma, ain't it? Sure. So that's when you might write in on a text message to all your friends, I ain't got no kidneys. Now, what's wrong with this sentence? Well, boys and girls, you see, it's a double negative. That's right. You're telling everybody that you do have your kidneys, but you don't. So how do we correct this sentence? Well, first of all, you have to put a question mark on it because you don't know if your kidneys are really disappeared or maybe they're just under the bed where you left them. Next, if you have a sentence with a double negative, what you need to do is add another negative on it. That'll make it a positive. I ain't got no kidneys. No how. That's right. Now that makes it a positive sentence. You're telling people you just don't have any kidneys. There you go, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed that. Well, now we got time for our last segment of the show is a bogus made-up tale of the Old West. Here's this one here about a special cowboy that may not be able to be understandable. It's Melvy the Mumbling Cowboy. Well, way out in the Wild West, on a savage and untamed land, rode Melvy the Mumbling Cowboy that no one could understand. Each time he rode into town, he'd stroll into the saloon, flip a silver dollar, and say, his boots did all the walking, sons did the talking. He never showed up late, but he could not enunciate. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, boys and girls. Remember, always be articulate and speak up loud. Well, that's it for the Bronco Bradd Dang Tootin' Good Time Show. And thanks for our host, Mike. And stick around because we got a lot of funny comedians coming up next. Until next time, boys and girls, have a tippy-yay good night.
All right, we're going almost straight into Bob Kirk, but I have to just say this one thing. Best jokes are the ones that you can see coming a mile away. Still laugh. Mumbling cowboy. It's like, what's going to happen? Everybody on chimps know what's going to happen. And it's still hilarious. Bronco Bradd, ladies and gentlemen, one more hand for him. Come on.
Yeehaw.
Embarrass yourselves by not loving them. Okay. Next performer comes to us from nearly a foreign land. Directly from Toronto. Please welcome, if you will, Bob Kirk.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I was waiting a little while to make sure that he caught up with the first part of the sentence.
Dramatic pause.
Right, go ahead, Bob.
All right. Great to be here. Chip, I didn't know this, but you know what? I found out that the first year anniversary gift for your anniversry is paper.
Yep, paper. Yep.
Yeah. So I got my prenup. Anyway, it helped. I'd like to talk to you today about weather. I think it's severe weather when houses, dogs, and old ladies are flying past you on the highway. How come when it's raining cats and dogs, it never smells like wet dog? Or what? It's raining wet ass pussycats. And what does it smell like when it's raining men? Axe? Body spray? Is it called severe weather? Or if you lose all your passwords and pictures in the cloud, is it server weather? Weather affects your mood. I made it through my girlfriend Hurricane Myrtle's tsunami of hot flashes. Survived. And now when there's a mood change in the house, I get alerts to my phone. It says, stay away, seek shelter. So I run to the doghouse. They say that nothing will get you through her mood changes better than some flowers, chocolates, and a good bottle of wine. I tried that. The flowers were nice, but the chocolate and wine gave me gas. Excuse me. I live in Canada with Myrtle, and I've experienced a lot of cold snaps. And that's just walking through my living room. Oh, I keep telling Myrtle I would like to experience a heat wave. And she said, call a friend. Earth, Wind, and Fire, not just a band, a weather forecast in California. Do you remember the 20th fire in September? Back, eh? Oh, I always get confused with watches and warnings. We have a tornado or tornado watch. We're watching for tornadoes. I like to watch for my tornadoes while I'm in the dark outside behind the bush. One time the neighbor called the police. They have topless weather channel here in Canada. Yeah, I would subscribe to that. Myrtle would call from the other room. What are you doing, Bob? I'm watching the weather. They're talking about showers again.
Hello.
That joke is clean but naughty. Just like my showers. If you follow your geography, I live 200 kilometers, which is like 120 miles away from the Precambrian Shield, also known as the Canadian Shield, made of rock, formed 3 billion years ago, formed under extremes in weather. Precambrian Shield. That would be a good name for a condom. Because it's solid, lasts forever, and doesn't break under pressure. Like when the earth moves. Side note, if you're doing it right, the earth should move. At least that's according to Myrtle. That should be a great branding thing. Hey, if I had the condom here, right? And yeah, Precambrian Shield condoms won't break under pressure. They come in packages of 12, only $11.99. And that's less than $1 a lay. Trying to stretch your dollar further? I used to say farther, but that sounded like too much like father. So that would be defeating the purpose of the Precambrian Shield condom. But if you want to stretch your dollar further, remember, they don't break under pressure. Just rinse them out and use them again. Oh, that's what my neighbor does. That's what my neighbor is, honestly hanging on his clothesline. He's a busy guy. Maybe he's been calling a friend for a 3. Precambrian Shield condoms. They won't break under pressure. Call 1-800-GET-HARD. That's right. 1-800-GET-HARD. Precambrian Shield condoms. They won't break under pressure. Because the U.S. Supreme Court, I can only do that joke in certain states. Right now, I'm doing it in a state of confusion. All right. That's my 5. Thank you. Oh my God.
Well, you didn't leave much chicken on that bone, buddy.
Oh,
I mean, what are you gonna do, man? I mean, I love Bob Kirk anyway. So, I mean, not in a creepy way, but I mean, I don't love anybody on the show except one in a creepy way.
okay. Don't ask. Please don't.
Our next performer is new. I look forward to hearing her, and I haven't seen anything about her, like where you're from or anything like that. I guess you'll let us know, or put it in the chat if it's not in your act. And direct from the basement where she has to saw her arm out to get out. Please welcome Ren Garcia. Ren Garcia, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey everyone, thank you. I'm actually from upstate New York, Albany. If anyone has heard of that, it's basically like Manhattan's child that was never wanted to begin with. So kind of like the unplanned pregnancy. So yeah, I go by Ren, but my real name is actually Erendira. And I changed my name to Ren because my elementary school principal called me a Ren diarrhea on the loudspeaker. And I was like, how did you know I didn't eat my beans this morning? So, but I have younger siblings actually. They're around the ages of 6 to 11 years younger than me, which makes me neglected. And it's and so we have a few oldest children here, I guess. But you know how I realized that we're a mistake is that parents use the words supposed to and should have. Like the other day, I was just checking out pictures with my mom, and it was like me crawling for the first time. And I was like, oh, Mom, I was kind of a cute baby. And she was like, oh, yeah, we were supposed to buy a house, but then you were born. And then my dad follows up with, yeah, you should have been a boy, but you're here.
Wow. Wow.
But I can't argue with my parents. And the thing is, like, I didn't realize that opinions existed until I had to file my taxes. And at school, I remember we would have to have these assignments where we would draw our family portraits. And my teacher said, oh, Ren, that's so sweet. You drew your dad as Simba? And I'm like, no, he's Scar. So when I was a child, I actually wasn't allowed to watch anything past G-rated. So I couldn't watch SpongeBob. And I also couldn't watch like titty sucking on TV, mostly because my mom didn't want me to become a lesbian, but I'm bi, so I think I'm halfway there. And the thing is, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob flip a few Krabby Patties because my mom said that he was on cocaine, but so was our Uncle Carlos. So a lot of suspicious activity there. But I do think my siblings and I, my siblings are agents for change. Like my sister, she's going to be more successful than me, but I just think I deserve like 20% commission. Like my sister, she has a personal record of running 15 seconds for 100 meters. And my 15-second personal record is chugging 8 shots of tequila before doing anal. And I'm trying to aim for 10 seconds, so I also had a dog. He actually recently passed away. He was a Siberian Husky. But my bank account has never been happier. And the thing is, like, I am super jealous of my dog. Like, my dog was able to receive his U.S. passport before I received my U.S. papers. Like, it took him 6 months and it took me 10 years. And all he had to do was show up to the interview, lie down, wag his tail, and lick the officer's butthole. If I had to do that, I would get deported or extremely turned on. So I guess I'll end it with this. So at the moment, I'm actually my sister's boss. She's in high school. And it's so weird, our relationship, from work and at home, like I feel like we're a one night stand. Like my sister, she blocks me off hours, and she also always talks shit about me to her friends. Yeah, I think that's all I have, honestly. I don't know where I was going with that. Think about my sister.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Give her a big round. Ren.
Can we donate some money to so she can get a light bulb?
That's right.
I'm in my car right now.
Okay. That
Already
explains
picking
it.
up my sister.
Didn't you hear
Some of the other comics are homeless too.
Yeah. Didn't you hear the chiming, Alan? That was her car door.
I wasn't sure what that was. Yeah. I thought it was Chuck.
It was a bell, and it tolls for thee. So Chuck,
Mike.
you know, as much as I love the show, and we have some great acts coming up, it's really incumbent upon us to let people know about the things that you support with Colorado comedy shows and
Right.
that I support in my personal life. Every month, of course, we do the open mic, and anybody who's here tonight, well, nearly everybody who's here tonight is welcome to come anytime. And that's one thing that we do. And we also support a couple of charities, Chuck.
Yes. Mike. Sorry, I missed my cue there. Mike, you're a big supporter of this first charity.
Yes, I am.
For
those of you who are new, magicmomentsinc.org is the website for a theater company that is inclusive and special needs friendly. My daughter, who is a special needs child, is in the show every year, and I help to co-write it every year. They do a jukebox musical that has 40 already very well-known songs in it every year. So if you went to see the show or you saw it on the video, you could be assured that you would at least enjoy the music a lot. And plus, well, with me writing a story, I think the next statement probably says itself. So I'll just, I won't pat myself on the back as much as I deserve it. I'm not going to talk about how I'm, probably pretty much 100% responsible for its success. Because I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the guy that blows his own horn. That's what I'm saying.
Hello.
Which, by the way, is Chuck's nickname. But be that as it may, it's a great thing. It's usually over spring break weekend, and if you're in the Denver area and you can get to the show, great. I think they're going to be branching out into putting it online afterwards for people to be able to see it who can't get there. And either way, it's a great thing to do because every cast, large cast shows, 30 to 40% of the people in it have some kind of special needs, and the show is very entertaining in its own right and incredibly remarkable given the breadth of abilities in the cast. And so it's such a good cause that even if you can't get there, donate some money via magicmomentsinc.org, you cheap bastards. And Chuck, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that you support some very interesting people as well.
Right. I do have charities to talk about, but I want to remind everybody that next month's open mic comedy show, we're celebrating your birthday, Mike. Show will be August 8th, and our virtual events team is going to just pull out all the stops for a big open mic comedy show birthday celebration. Everyone can get a virtual slice of cake. Feel free to have some right now. These are, again, this slice is left over from our pride party, but you get the idea. Enjoy it.
Support
that. Piece of cake.
And what goes better with cake than salad?
A salad. That's Chef Scapone of the Colorado Comedy Show's Virtual Events Center. He's one of your biggest fans, Mike, and wants to lead the team on making certain you have a great birthday party.
That's great. And he's pioneering a new thing called rainbow cake salad. So
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, Rainbow Cake Salad was the first title of Poke Salad Annie, but that's just for me. All right. Anyway, what do you support, Chuck?
Say hi to Jacob and Elevating Connections, both watching on the YouTube. Elevating Connections is a charity that does programs for youth who are separated from their siblings by the foster care system. Colorado Comedy Shows donates 10% of every ticket sale to Elevating Connections programs. The kids are going to Camp To Belong in just a few weeks. If you might have had a summer camp experience when you were a kid, perhaps you had parents. Those are things, youth in foster care have parents, but they've been separated from them by the court system. And oftentimes they're separated from their siblings. And while that's traumatic, Elevating Connections tries to put on programs so the kids can get together. If you don't know that I teach at the Community College of Denver, we're bringing the youth to campus on July 26th so they can explore career opportunities and whatnot. So we do a little more than just donating. We show up, we listen, we try to provide arts programming for the kids and whatnot, or for the youth. Oftentimes your donations will help people turn on their phone. We've helped homeless youth secure things like food, housing, and whatnot. So some really good things with Elevating Connections and the power of our donation. We do broadcast the show on what they call the Spotify at times, and we have a link tree. Please water it with your attention. We'd appreciate that. And hello, Jacob. Thanks for saying hello while watching on the YouTube. And if you're not busy, Jacob, could you subscribe? Those of you watching on the channel, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. That way you can find out every time Open Mic Comedy Show goes live. And why would you want to come to Open Mic Comedy Show? You can be like Grania and enjoy fabulous free prizes. So we have VIP prizes. Grania, these are for you. Everybody else, Jacob, you're in general admission over there on the YouTube. So we have some prizes coming up for you, but you can't enjoy these. These are for Grania and the rest of our VIPs. Today's 7-Eleven, so we got you your very own 7-Eleven. It's a virtual 7-Eleven, and it's also located in Shanghai, so I hope that's convenient. Please enjoy your own 7-Eleven there, Grania. I thought that would help. And this is a fresh shot from the Webb telescope. This came up from NASA today. And so what we arranged is just pick your own galaxy. You have a variety to choose from, but for our VIP guests, you can have your own virtual galaxy. It's virtually yours. It's take it and go wherever you like with your own galaxy, of course. If you need to do the laundry before you head out on your trip, then we've got washboards for you.
Hello.
So feel free to enjoy your own virtual washboard.
This is the I'm indifferent to Roe v. Wade club.
Yeah. Right. Does not affect anybody in this photo, except for the little lady who's the photographer down in the front. Of course, you get your own Carol Channing. Yeah. I just love it when we give you the Carol Channing. She's just a special lady. And
diamonds are a dead girl's best friend.
Oh, right. Which is the name of her first episode of The Love Boat. Is what Mike was going for right there. She really had a crush on Meryl Stubing. And so also wanted you to have a pool, Grania. It's hot where we are. Not sure where you are, but hopefully you can enjoy a dip in the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center pool. You're welcome anytime. It's virtually yours to experience. Anytime you need a pool, enjoy. How about a Coke and a smile? We've got one for you. Old school bottle Coke, just pop open, and anytime you need one, we got a virtually ice cold Coca-Cola. And of course, how about a burger? It's summertime, so we want to make certain you get a delicious burger. Nice to keep our audience well fed. And what goes better with a burger than
salad?
A salad. So Grania and the rest of our VIPs, please enjoy your very own burger and virtual salad. So I hope you enjoy that. And for Jacob and those of you watching on the YouTube out there in general admission and way up in the balcony, we have presents and prizes for you as well. So you get a Slurpee,
Mm.
from Slurpee machine. You don't get the whole 7-Eleven, but you do get a Slurpee. So it's virtually yours. Enjoy a Slurpee. There was the Webb telescope photo, and there's this photo of a spider web for general admission people.
Thought it was the synapse to Mike's brain.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
You know how it's not a synapse to my brain because they're attached.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right. So, whatever you'd like to do with your spider web or synapse.
Where's Raquel Welch in that little spaceship? I don't see
Actually,
her in there.
That actually comes from Billy Porter, and it's synapsing a Z right now.
Right. Somebody explained that joke to me after the show.
Chuck Roy, ladies and gentlemen, the only gay man in America who doesn't know what Broadway is.
Thank you. Right, I agree. So our VIPs got a nice trip to the pool, Jacob. So we got you to run through the sprinkler. Please don't run over the little girl, but do steal her MAGA hat if you can. And they got a burger, and you get a Build-A-Burger from scratch, shall we say?
Eel.
All you got to do is feed it, water it, keep it for a long time, and then you can have your very own delicious burger as soon as you're ready. And
Unless you want veal.
Whoa.
Unless you want veal.
What goes better with veal than
The salad.
Enjoy
Try the veal or the salad, right?
salad. And if you're new to our show, this
by
will
the
be
veal?
for you.
Go
We
ahead.
thanked our VIP guests. Grania, it was very important to thank you. We appreciated Jacob watching out on the YouTube and Elevating Connections. So important to say thank you to those watching. And then let's not forget our heterosexual.
Are there any on here tonight?
May have felt left out during the washboard bit, but
Give me one of those.
you get this young lady, virtually yours, heterosexuals, to enjoy in the most heterosexual of ways. Delicious salad.
You just called.
That's what we got, Mike.
And incidentally, it's a little difficult to tell whether that woman's hair is splayed out behind her or if she's dying of a head wound.
Right.
It's
I
very
should say I've been enjoying your introductions today, Mike. They're like well-written prose. It's like getting an audio book of Long with the Wind.
That's okay. That's great. You should put that joke on your resume when you're looking for a new job.
Right, I will. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I want to just point out a few things today, Mike, if you don't mind, and then, I'll surrender the floor.
Sure.
The next act and whatnot. I noticed this, Mike. I wrote a few jokes based on one observation. I stepped through the door here behind me, and there's a mirror on the other side of it. And I am getting bell-shaped. It's just I'm fat and getting fatter, and I look like a bell. I'm bell-shaped, which is appropriate because I have a ding-dong.
Gee.
Hello.
Wow. My bell shape does have a big crack, Mike. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I've got clackers. In fact,
Oh.
my balls. Okay. I should ask. Do these jokes ring a bell, Mike? Terrible. I am alarmed at the number of bell jokes. Thank you. And after the third bell joke, I thought Trey Bell. That's for our French friends. If Français,
Oui.
Très bien, Trey Bell. Are any of the jokes about that joke or that famous bell in Philadelphia? Well, I'm not at liberty to say. Okay.
Whoa!
You're right. Some of these jokes are controversial, and you're also right. My drag queen name is Ma Bell. Clang, clang, clang goes all the bell folly. Okay. One more
What's
joke.
those jokes weigh, by the way?
Right. They weigh an Alexander, or my telephone jokes weigh an Alexander Graham Bell. Now, when the clock strikes at an Apple store, Mike, does management suppress it? That's what I want to know. And I should just I'm gonna hang out after the show, Mike, because you're very good at fixing jokes, and I have a Bell joke about a Disney character that I need you to tinker with.
Yeah.
Too many
I
crickets.
know. No, hold for the laugh because I'm sure it's coming, Chuck.
There it is.
But you laughed twice at it, which I'm gonna cherish forever.
Anything else that you want to?
I think I have one more joke.
Yes.
And it's
I'll make one.
it's a lot like a Japanese prime minister. I'm going to get it in one shot.
Hey!
Wow. Talk about too soon.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Still don't do jokes about Kennedy, for Christ's sake.
What can I do?
So we'll start the parade an hour late. What are they going to do? Shoot me?
All right. Well, that's enough of my inappropriate humor. Thanks to everybody for coming out to the show. Enjoy we have more comics coming up. Some of our most sought after comedians are ahead. They're wanted by the FBI, the DEA, and Interpol. So stick around for all that.
Interpol, that's your name on Grindr.
It was a race to the finish line between Alan Enlow and Chipp Jones.
Sorry, Alan.
Chipp nosed him out by a dreadlock.
You owe me a Coke.
That's it. I had a smile.
Mike, this next act is so well crafted, it should be sold on Etsy, shouldn't it?
Yes, it should. I can't remember who I said. It was Sarah. Right?
Neither can I. I just said the joke.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't be
right.
Not at all.
Thanks to Bob Kirk, who wrote jokes on a bell curve in the chat. I'm keeping that.
There you go. Some of the Liberty Bell jokes, I mean, I don't know if our fondling fathers would appreciate them.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, since it's an adopted nation, maybe they really are foundling fathers.
That's right.
She sort of blew it by saying, "Oh, put me on. I'm on. You said I was." So I'll dispense with the usual florid and apparently too long introduction. Please welcome Sarah Green, ladies.
Yeah. So spicy. Ouch.
She has claws.
All right. Well, happy Pride, everybody. We're 2 weeks past, but I hate to tell them, they know we're queer all year, right?
How it works?
This is an outrage.
That how it works? I didn't know that.
I have half a mind to move to Texas.
Anyway, I'm also pansexual, and I don't live in the kitchen, but you can still find me hanging off of a rack now and then.
Hello.
Wow. Wow.
I'm also polyamorous. I have 2 emotional support men.
Wow. Nice.
Which I know it sounds like an oxymoron. It's okay. Yep. They're my heroes. I have anxiety, like a lot of anxiety. They have to try and figure out what the hell I am up to. What is going on in my brain? Is she okay? Is she not okay? Is she happy? Is she sad? Do we need to get the shields and the helmets? You know. Let's see. I have so much anxiety. I brought my mother on my honeymoon.
Oh. Wow. That's scary.
she was our liaison. She was our liaison.
Wow.
Yep. I know it wasn't anything weird. Like she wasn't outside the door cheering us on or anything. It's okay. She had the pull-out couch and we had the bedroom.
Much better.
Oh, I thought it was something weird.
A little thin because she did give me a thumbs up in the morning.
Oh.
Second one of the honeymoon.
That's right.
No, my mom's always had my back, even in the strangest of times. When I was 18, I decided I was going to get a tattoo. She knew I was going to get it. So she said, okay, well, at least let me take you for your birthday and we'll go to a reputable place. Fine. Yeah, most teenagers just want cash or gift cards in their birthday card. Apparently, I needed a tramp stamp. Not many mothers will buy their daughter the equivalent of a bullseye, let's be honest. Anyway, I mentioned I'm poly. And my boyfriend is also married. Okay, and she has a boyfriend. Maybe she has a girlfriend too. Yeah, it's funny. We don't have a family circle. We have a family pentagram. Yep, the Catholic Church finds it very unholy. Bunch of us will all go out together, which is a fun experiment. Tends to turn into an education for some poor unsuspecting people. It's too funny. We get great comments from people who don't know our dynamic, like, wow, got the whole family out tonight, huh? I wish my family was fun like yours. If only you knew. Or when my boyfriend and I went out for pizza without any of the other significant others. And on our way out the door, the owner said, have a good night, Sarah. And I was so shocked that he knew my name that my boyfriend Bill had to tell me the rest of the sentence when we got to the car. He said, good night, Sarah. You guys say hi to Mom for me. Mom. Happened again. I've been mistaken for the daughter. So now we have to go back and we have to tell this poor man that, oh no, this is her husband. This is my boyfriend. She is my girlfriend. I can go get my husband and she can go get her boyfriend. And I mean, we can introduce everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got tonight, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're getting a lot.
Why, you
Variety's the spice of life.
Talk kind of
Well, I had a joke in my act of years and years ago is I would never, it shows how much times have changed. Although there's still a lot of truth in it.
What, that you had a
I
joke?
never cheat on my wife because it's hard enough disappointing one woman. I can't even imagine how miserable I could make people if I was in a polyamorous relationship. Our next performance is coming from a guy that I've known for a long time. He's been doing a lot of these mics, and I'm really grateful for it. So please welcome Alan Enlow.
Thank you. Yes, I'm coming to you all the way from Brooklyn, New York.
Yay! Get
Yes,
about it.
Somebody often introduced me as that's the stoop where Bill Cosby lives. So come on down. I'll give you all a drink. Yes. Anyway, but it is a fun neighborhood. And I don't know about you, particularly in my neighborhood during the pandemic, everybody's just getting a little nuts. There was a homeless woman that actually passed out on that's actually my stoop right there, passed out right there. And I did my civic duty and I called 911 and the EMT guy shows up and he starts to berate me. He's like, "Hey, buddy, let me ask you a question. Did you ask this woman who was passed out on your stoop if she was okay before you called us?"
Yeah.
I was like, well, I kind of thought that was your job. I was like, "What did you say?" I said, "You're doing a great job. Thanks for your service." And then as I was walking up the steps, I'm thinking to myself, well, this is perfect. If the EMT guy beats the crap out of me, I can dial 911 and he'll already be here. Yeah, but no, I really do love my neighborhood. New York City is considered the dining capital of the world, and we have a lot of great restaurants here in Brooklyn. And I actually am ubiquitous in my neighborhood. Look it up. Whatever restaurants I go to, these are true. This is true. They all have nicknames for me according to what I order. Absolutely true nicknames. And when I go into Dunkin' Donuts, the women are all Pakistani and they call me Nacho. They're like, "Hello, Nacho. Good to see you. Hey, Nacho." And the reason they call me Nacho is because they thought I said nacho cheese when I said no cheese on my egg sandwich. So that's my name now. "Hello, Nacho. It's good to see you." Which I kind of like it because it sounds kind of macho, It's like, "Hey, gringos. Yeah, I am Nacho the Macho. Yeah. If you try to fuck with me, I will show you my nacho, and it has a lot of cheese in it." Anyway, that was just for Mike. Anyway, but conversely, when I go to the Mexican restaurant, they actually call me Fish Taco. I walk in the door, "Hey, look, everybody, it's Fish Taco, man. What's going on? ¿Qué pasa?" Now, if I were a woman, I think I'd be insulted. But I'm very secure in my masculinity. I have a nacho and not a fish taco, so I'm fine with that. See what I did? I made a call back to the. Never mind. All right, we saw it, Alan, and it didn't fucking work. But now when I go to the Greek restaurant in my neighborhood, they have a really long name for me, and it's a really long Greek name. But they don't actually say it to me. They just kind of complain to each other, like, "Oh, look, here comes the guy who gets drunk every night because he gets in a fight with his wife, Opolis." And it's a no wonder I'm in therapy, right? But I actually am. I'm a married guy. I'm actually married to a Jewish woman, and I was actually raised Southern Baptist. I don't have an accent because we moved around a lot. But I've been married for 33 years, and the main reason I got married to a Jewish woman is because I wanted to get as far away from being Southern Baptist as possible. But it turns out that we actually have a lot in common. The two cultures have a lot in common. Like for instance, when Baptists heal you, they yell. They're like, "You can walk." And when the Jews don't like that, they yell back, "Yeah, I can walk, but now I can't hear." Son of a bitch, what the hell are you doing? But anyway, I actually did go to therapy for 10 years. I suggest going to therapy. And the problem with therapy is you have to find the right therapist. I went to therapy for 10 years, and it took me 10 more years to get over the therapy.
True.
My therapist actually told me I needed to find my penis. And she meant self-esteem, but she just liked saying the word penis. Penis, 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 penis. Alan, you need to find your penis. Your parents took your penis because they're very religious and they didn't want you to have sex. So you need to go to your parents' house, look through all the drawers, and find your penis. Take it back. Now, I'm a guy. I tend to take things literally. So I went to my parents' house. I looked through all the drawers. I didn't find my penis, but I found my mom's. Big old power tool with a picture of Jesus on it. So, evidently, she was going to heaven every night, which explains the noises I used to hear coming out of her bedroom. It's like,
help me now, Lord. Take me now. Take me now, Lord.
all right. I know I've gone a minute overtime here, but what else? What else is new? I'm gonna end with this. This is I want to give a tribute to Gilbert Gottfried because he passed away not too long ago. So this is Gilbert Gottfried telling the cleanest joke he's ever told in his life. These two vaginas walked into a vagina bar. The reason they called it a vagina bar is because it was in the Virgin Islands. And the first vagina said to the second vagina, "This place smells like fish." And the second one said, or the first one, whichever one it was, and wasn't speaking at the time, said, "You'll get used to it. Don't be a cunt." Wait a minute, you can't call me a cunt. We're not in England. Oh, sorry. I meant to say douchebag. Oh, bartender, give me 2 summer's eves on the rocks and hold the pubic hair between your teeth. Thank you. That's it for me. I'm dead.
Wow.
That was the cleanest joke you ever told.
Yeah. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Wasn't Thomas touching, wasn't
it? No, it was.
I know Chuck was touching.
But he wasn't all dirty. That's like Robert Schimmel. He was just inappropriate on every level. You know, he lost millions of dollars by doing a Fukushima joke.
Oh, right.
Swearing in that.
Yeah, because there's nobody else on the face of the planet could do the Affleck voice. Anybody here, just say Affleck.
Affleck.
Yeah, you're hired. Really? I mean, he's talented, but I'm just saying, who the fuck couldn't do that voice? Well, now I've just besmirched his.
Oh, I get it.
Just besmirched his legacy.
You're envious of a more talented man, and you
That's it.
couldn't wait for him to die so you could
do that joke.
Besmirch his legacy without having to worry about repercussion. I understand that.
Alan's like, don't.
That small, but it's good to know. Anyway,
Alan's like, don't worry, another Gilbert Gottfried will float by any moment.
Yeah, sure.
By the way, besmirch is Chuck's name on Grindr.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
I gotta go get a drink.
I wasn't the long-winded one. I want to welcome our next performer.
I'm coming right back. I just gotta get a drink. Okay.
Yeah, please, because everybody gives a shit where you're going. You're number one. Please welcome, if you will.
I know it was said. It was said with love, Mike. It was said with love. It was said with love. I can tell.
Yeah, I mean that with love. Loving to hurt people's feelings. Anyway, our next performer, who's been waiting patiently, by the way, until now, and she's going, "All right, Mike, fuck it out," you know. Anyway, please welcome Andrea Gordon.
Hey everyone. It's been a while since I've been here last, so I think last time I said some pretty heavy things. It's a comedy show, so I'm going to keep it light. So the Supreme Court just overturned Roe versus Wade, effectively fucking every American woman in the ass. And this, by the way, is now the only recommended way of having intercourse if you want to avoid doing time in prison or avoid time in motherhood. So I was thinking about Roe versus Wade, and I was like, I don't know anything about the original court case. I know the result, but I don't know who was Roe and who was Wade. And so I found this I'm going to do some research and look it up. No, I'm just kidding. I just do what every American does, and I just make stuff up. So Roe literally means egg. So that must be like the pro-life position. And Wade sounds like the name of a guy who tries to convince you that the abortion is your idea. So that must be the pro-choice decision. I was actually thinking to myself, like, how is Brett Kavanaugh not pro-choice? He looks like a guy who knows a lot of Wades, you know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that Squee never made a mistake that a DNC couldn't fix, you know what I mean? So I am a pro-choice Christian, which means that everyone hates me. But one of my mom's friends came up to me and said, Andrea, how could you be pro-choice? Women's bodies are magic. And if you end a pregnancy, you're taking away God's magic from a woman. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I also believe that women's bodies are magic, but it's more like abortions are like our coolest trick. It's like, now you see it, now you don't, you know? I may be the worst person to talk about abortions because I actually had to have an emergency hysterectomy in my mid-20s. That's real. I didn't get much of a choice either because it was a life-saving procedure. So it is what it is. How did it save my life? Well, I was in a sorority and I really loved sex. So, I mean, you don't know how many parties I would have missed if I was changing diapers. A lot of parties. Anyways, I do have the occasional regret about it. Being able to like do this is like a big part of being a woman, like physically anyways. And so I do think about it sometimes, and it does hurt to think that I'll never get to have my very own abortion.
Yeah.
What's funny about it is like when I would tell a guy that I couldn't get pregnant, it seemed to make men really hot for me. What makes them hotter for you is when you say you could get pregnant, but you're willing to abort their baby. And I think that makes a man think like, oh, she supports me, she gets me. It makes him feel comfortable because even cum needs a safe space. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I say to myself, you know what, Andrea, you would be a great mother. Like, you'd be better than your mothers. You would be an amazing mother. I've just never woken up with that thought every morning for 18 years in a row. So I think that the one good thing about overturning Roe versus Wade is that now there's two good reasons to fake a pregnancy. So hear me out. So there's an oldie but goodie, right? You fake a pregnancy, and that has saved, or at least lengthened, many of my relationships. But now you can fake a pregnancy and get a basically all expense paid vacation to any state where abortions are still legal. So do you remember when the news came down and everyone ran to social media to write, hey, if you need to go camping, how did camping become the analogy for having an abortion? Especially since some dude pitching a tent is how you got into this mess in the first place.
Wait,
every friend.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah.
Somebody's making noise. I don't know who it is. It's very distracting.
I don't know if it's only happening when I'm talking. I don't know if it's
happening. It was happening before you were on.
Bob, try muting.
Yeah. You deserve to have everybody's full attention. That's the whole thing.
All right. Well, I'm almost done anyways. But yeah, so camping. So everyone went on social media and said, hey, if you need to go camping, it's still, still legal to camp in my state, which is so fucking weird to say. So you can, at least if you're in like the first couple of weeks of camping season, come to my state and stay in my fully furnished home so you can go camping. It just didn't make any sense, but I think that it was code for come have an abortion in my neighborhood. which is cool. The best part was it was always ended with like, no questions asked. No questions asked. So I live in a state where abortion is still illegal. And hey, you could come here too, but I have lots of questions. I'm going to need to see some proof. You're not going to stay here for free without showing me something. I need to see like proof of potential life. I want to see a sonogram with your name and the date on it. I need proof that there's no more potential life. I need to see you like do a rail of Coke or drink a fifth of vodka. And I feel like that's the only way that I can be sure that you're not just taking advantage of me. I live 3 miles away from Disneyland. If you leave my house like a sad sack in the morning, you come back that evening wearing Mickey ears and a big smile on your face, I'm going to be suspicious. And I can tell the difference, right? I can tell the difference between a smile that was earned with churros and roller coasters versus a smile that was earned by, you know, getting your life back, right? Actually, I think I'm going to stop there. Thanks so much, everyone.
Yes. That was great.
I keep doing jokes about hating babies, Mike.
Pardon me?
I keep doing jokes about hating babies.
No, I get it. And
We understand.
I have 2 kids, so I totally get it. There's a lot of times when you hate them when you got them. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it's, you know, maybe if you stick around for a little while after the show, I'll expand on that, because I want to bring our next performer on, who I don't think was planning on performing tonight, but I'm not letting her get away. It's Lorna Batters, and everybody should clap for her.
Yeah. May or may not have been planning on performing.
But
I didn't think I'd be able to. So, Ren, I know she's not here, but if somebody could record this for her, I found a way out. The hall imploded though. I'll come back for you. What? Yes, I like scary movies, but what? Do I like playing games? Yeah, like what? I can't play a game. Actually, I'm not very good at playing games. Even when I was wee, I got sleeping lions. Can't stop talking, and constantly do even when I'm asleep. If I nodded off, you got musical chairs. I know as hard as this might be to believe, because I'm so shy. I never got to sit down because I just wanted to keep dancing. So never won at that game. Telephone. Yeah, I was told the message, but I know what people mean. So I was like, okay, forget what he said. What he meant actually was. And then I just really made the message. And by the time we got to the end, it was nothing like, you know, what they started off with. The other one wasn't really a proper game, I suppose. It was just something we did as a kid to keep us happy. You know, when there was a wee bit of rain, then it stopped. You get out of school, there's puddles, you know, so you play the game, jump off the curb, on the curb, off the curb, on the curb. Yeah, great game. No. I fell down a manhole. I was 8. Apparently somebody would be going around Glasgow, taking all the manhole covers off and selling them for scrap metal. This is information I wish I'd known before I started playing that game. And I just went, nobody even noticed. My friends were still walking. They were still talking to me. My arms, thankfully, I stretched my arms out, because otherwise I'd be dead talking to you right now. You know what I mean? And the next day, like, I could not have said, like, oh, a dog ate the homework. Oh, no, it didn't. But a Range Rover fucking dragged the school bag away. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I did write a song about my problems, and I hope you'll just feel it in your heart when I share this with you. And it starts off with obviously the biggest story that my family like to tell about me falling down a manhole, which they thought was hilarious, and invited all the neighbours around to show when I got home after walking all the way home, wet from here down and covered in shit. Are you ready? First I was afraid, thought I'd lose my life. My friends, they didn't notice, they just walked on by. My wee head popping out that hole, just like a human whack-a-mole. But I survived, although I sometimes wonder why. This is me. I have bad luck. The only time that I excel is when I drink or when I find new friends. Walk into glass doors and to trees, but I survived, and I will survive, but God knows why. That's all I've got for you guys, and just like watch out for manholes, right?
It's true. That's the first manhole bit I've heard that didn't involve a gay bar.
Yeah, but I fell into a manhole, not in a good way.
Yeah.
Or a grinder.
That's right. You mean grinder nicknames, I believe.
That's right.
But anyway, you know what? This has been a lovely show. People did really well tonight, I thought. I give me my usual praise. All but one of you was wonderful. And
Oh, wow. Spin the magic box.
I fell down. But I was only 8, so keep it clean.
Yeah. So keep it clean. But which, by the way, is not Chuck's name.
Chug.
That's right. Don't make her laugh. She'll spend
Chug is definitely.
Hello.
That's his name on Grindr. Clang, went the trolley.
Hello.
You have to sing it as Carol Channing, though, right?
I would, but unfortunately, the song has a melody, so I can't.
Oh.
So anyway, it's been a lovely show. Chuck, did you have a special thing you want people to do for the picture?
I have a silly photo at the end of the show. So if you'd like to join us for the photo, just turn your camera on. And I think we should do shocked looks either right or left. So you're looking at the person next to you on the Zoom screen. So
Okay.
as shocked as you can be, right, left, up, down, however that works.
Are you going to do a 1, 2, 3 or just?
I'm going to do it on 3. I'm just folks are turning on their cameras. Grania, great to see you. Thanks for doing
Always shocked.
So ready now, everybody? Totally shocked. Right or left? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I think that should do it.
And Mike looked down.
Right. He looks down on all of us.
I always look down. I'm a very depressed person. Or did you read something else? Oh, are we still on YouTube?
We'll say goodbye to YouTube. Thanks, YouTubers.
Thank you.
Bye, YouTubers.
YouTubers.
Bye. Good night.
Enjoy the show.